As such, I'm reading this. As you are reading this, the other killings of Biafrans by the Fulani Islamic terrorists is ongoing as we speak. The killing have not stopped to date, especially in the northern boundary of Igbo land, such that several innocent villagers were murdered in Ebonyi State in February 2025. Igbo communities to bury their brothers, sisters, fathers, mothers, sons, and daughters almost every month. And after times, the violence is maliciously and falsely attributed to unknown government or faceless Biafran separatists. In the face of all this, and in the perception that rogue elements of the security forces are complicit, the Biafran government in exile emerged as a beacon of hope for Biafrans that have become distrustful of the government. It bears mentioning that when the agitation for Biafra accelerated in late 2015, the response of Nigerian government was disappointingly non-pragmatic. Instead of acknowledging the broadening popularity of the agitation and take bona fide measures to contain it through constructive engagement or dialogue, the government went wide with deadly and extrajudicial law enforcement action that backfired by fueling the agitation to levels not seen since the end of the Civil War in 1970. This misguided law enforcement action turned a dangerous corner and boomeranged when the government went rogue by extraordinary rendition of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the Biafran leader from Kenya, in late June 2021. No doubt this is an avoidable overreaction that has composed Nigeria's legal system, triggered the international legal order against Nigeria, and better that have brought Southeast Nigeria, which is Biafra, to this day. In between, Fulani Islamic terrorists have capitalized on the situation. Our Republic government in exile, Britain, of which he is the Prime Minister, as the next illustration of the Biafra independent movement. The brigade has galvanized the support of the Biafran population and has engaged in high-level dialogue in Washington, D.C. with U.S. government officials. Furthermore, brigade organized a self-referendum in which more than 50 million Biafrans voted in favor of independence. Brigade held an independence convention in Lahti, Finland, which started November 29 to December 2, 2024, in which Brigade declared the independence of Biafra on December 2, 2024. December 2, 2024, Biafra was redeclared. The government of Nigeria, according to Mr. Ekpa, has orchestrated 5 assassination attempts against his life. After allegedly failing to assassinate Mr. Ekpa, the government of Nigeria successfully pressured the government of Finland to arrest Mr. Ekpa in November 2024 on political motivated charges. The government of Finland then issued an indictment against Mr. Ekpa, as well as subsequent conviction, which demonstrates the political nature of the persecution at the instigation of government of Nigeria. The indictment by Finland, issued in May of 2025, alleged that Mr. Ekpa participated and supported the terrorist organization, even though pro-Biafra organizations are not designated as terrorist group in Finland or anywhere in the European Union. In fact, the only country in the world where pro-Biafra organization, in fact, the only country in the world where pro-Biafra organization we are designated is in Nigeria. For the government of Finland to accept that the Finnish citizen holding political position regarding internal policy matters within Nigeria is somehow a criminal offense in Finland is nonsensical and absurd, and demonstrate that Finland is engaging in a political motivated prosecution. Nigeria conducts toward both Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa demonstrate transnational repression. At the moment, the issue of Biafra, the insecurity in southeast Nigeria, which is Biafra land, and all the unpleasant aftermath cannot be resolved while the federal government of Nigeria persists in detention of Mazi Kanu, while Finland persists in detention of Mazi Simon Ekpa, and Biafrans continue to be marginalized. On this basis of foregoing, we must respectfully suggest the following to the U.S. government. One, we urge the United States government to invoke the Global Magnitsky Human Rights Accountability Act, Summit 5 of Title S 11 of 114-28328 to identify and impose travel and financial restrictions on all officials of the federal government of Nigeria and any Nigerian non-state actor implicated in the killing of Biafra present in their homeland in southeast Nigeria, which is Biafra land. We urge the United States government, including through targeted sanctions and or tariffs, to pressure the government of Nigeria to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and allow him to safe passage out of Nigeria. Three, we urge the United States government to pressure the government of Finland regarding its political motivated trial and conviction against pro-Biafra active Simon Ekpa. For we urge the United States government to deny all bilateral assistance and visas to officials of the government of Nigeria if it continues to engage in transnational repression against both Biafra activists, and if Simon Ekpa and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu continue to be held in detention. Consequently, Biafra troop brigade are ready to engage with the international community, include the United States of America government, especially in seeking to establish a newly independent Biafra state. The brigade is willing to engage in deal making with U.S. government and come to economic defense and security agreement with the United States. Biafrans represented by brigade are willing to negotiate with the U.S. in reciprocity and in anticipation for specific demand, interest, and expectation of the U.S. recent event in Sub-Saharan Africa have created a compelling need for United States of America to get involved in the Gulf of Guinea. There is no better opportunity than that presented by the Biafra. For example, Biafra can be an ideal place for U.S. military base, as well as seaport. Biafra can also be host to African installation. Biafra can be a close ally of the United States and the pavilion of Western India. Biafra can be an ideal place for U.S. military base, as well as seaport. Biafra can also be host to African the United States and purveyor of Western interests in the region, as well as a bulwark against Islamic terrorists and extremists. This is important now more than ever, given the loss of key U.S. military bases in Sahel countries, as well as the Nigerian government ever closer relations with United States adversaries, a United States designated Islamic terrorist organization. In addition, Nigeria's persecution of Christians continues to worsen and further adds to the case of independent homeland for Nigeria. Christian population, just as U.S. recognized of Somalia, present great benefit to U.S. strategic interest in East Africa. Similarly, Biafra can present opportunities along similar lines for the U.S. in West Africa. We hope today's historical briefing will provide the precedents for further diplomatic engagement. And before I say thank you, we believe that we have sent our message, and we are damn serious for our freedom. We'll continue fighting. Our freedom is our right. No one else can do it better for us than us. And we are sending message to the world, especially the United States of America. We appreciate the opportunity and the privilege they have given us to voice out so that they can do what is right. We believe they are listening. We believe very soon we'll be having more diplomatic engagement with the United States of America, the leader of the free world. Thank you. All right, we're going to be having some time, and we have some witnesses that will be asking questions about the current situation, what is happening in Biafra land, if it is suitable for them, if it is that what they want. Do they deserve to live better than what is happening here today? We are glad to be here, and this is the beginning of our hearing in Washington, D.C. We believe that U.S. government, they are watching, they are listening, they are following, even if the members of the Congress, the ones that are not here, they are watching, so they know what we are doing and what is going on. I will call on Mazia Mobi. Yeah.
Greetings, everyone. Greetings to Biafrans who are here present. First of all, I want to appreciate everyone for being here. It's not easy. It is only a man who seeks for freedom that goes knocking on all doors. Because every locked door against each and every one of us is a locked door against the millions of Biafrans. Especially millions of Biafrans, yourself, myself, who are witnesses, and over 50 million people who gave the Brigade government their vote for the self-referendum conducted in Finland. It conducted back home and ratified in Finland by over 517 Biafrans. So I appreciate each and every one of you who are here. And we thank the United States Congress for giving us this opportunity, for calling us to hear our voice at this time. It is of utmost importance that the Biafran people in general speak up now to stop the killing, to help the world, to help those who cannot speak for themselves, and the entirety of the people who live in the geographical location known as Nigeria to regain their freedom. The freedom that we seek today is not just for the Biafran people, but for over 230 million people who exist in a place where they are all in a cave. Most of the people who exist there do not know themselves no more, cannot, for some reason, stand up and defend themselves. Of course, we know fear is part of terrorism. With me here are fellow Biafrans who are witnesses to the ongoing genocide in my land, Biafra. The ongoing genocide is a continuation of 1967 to 70, as we all have heard the acting Prime Minister of Britain speak to us who are Biafrans and to the rest of the world who are listening. So I would like to ask my brothers and my sisters a few questions so that in their own words they can explain to the rest of the world, those who are watching, and to the congressmen and women who have given us this opportunity, who I'm sure would hear everything that we are saying here today, either today or tomorrow or in the nearest future. And whatever we say here will help them make decisions quick and act fast to save lives of Biafra, to save lives of women, children, and even unborn. Because in our case, we lose children in the mother's wombs due to Nigerian terrorism. Now, first of all, I would like to call on my sister, who is a witness, Love Akobonu. I would like to ask you, Love Akobonu, how would you describe the persecution and marginalization of Biafrans from your own personal observation and experience? What are the root causes of this genocide?
Hello, dear friends. Good afternoon. Thank you for the British government, the acting Prime Minister, Congress. I'm going to say what I receive as information from those who witnessed those incidents from so-called organization. From the time those people showed up in the shores of Biafra, the bite of Biafra, there hasn't been peace. Each time they bring up a situation that is not acceptable to our people, the Biafrans, we object it because we already had democracy before they showed up. We were living in organized society in every ramification before they showed up. So when they showed up and want to alter who we are, change us to benefit them in every ramification before they showed up. So when they showed up and want to alter who we are, change us to benefit them, we said no. Instead of dialoguing with us, they come up. This had been going on through the after the fall of Arab Kingdom.
our people regrouped, defending themselves, defending their land, defending their culture, defending who they are as a people. They were met with killing. They don't understand dialogue. From there, it moved to the time of taxation that was totally unacceptable, and our great-grandmothers came up to protest, simple protest. They did not kill anybody. They did not destroy anything. They were just protesting because one of the useless people, it is not today we begin to have a flavors in our society. A man called, and I'm going to call him by name, and I wish his generation will get to hear it so they can be ashamed of their grandfather. Chief Oku from Ologo was the warrant chief who delivered that message of taxation. And after they had finished taxing our fathers, they came up with our mothers. And our mothers said, no. What did they do? They turned out, killed some of them. To glorify their action, they termed it about women riot, which is a false thing. From there, when they discovered coal in Enugu, again, to their interest, poor working condition, our fathers protested for a better wages, a better working condition. What did they get? Bullets. They massacred the men. That was the coal mining massacre. It did not stop there. Each step of the way is aggression, no discussion. The good thing is, we are not the people you can just walk over. It's not going to happen. It's not yesterday, it's not today, it's not going to be all the tomorrows to come, because we are Biafrans, madam. No two ways about to take it or drop it. We're going to fight to the last man standing. Now, it did not stop there. It continues. The same marginalization, the same wickedness in all form and shape. Fast forward to the so-called flag independence. What did we get? The 1966 pogrom. I have a sister-in-law who lost her father to 1966 pogrom. Move forward, 1967, the so-called genocidal war, which the world refused to acknowledge. The thing sweeping it under the carpet is going to make a difference. It's going to escalate, and it's escalating. We have no apologies to anybody. Biafra must be free. Okay?
Thank you so much, my sister Love. You heard it all. Now, I will ask another question to another sister of mine, Ms. Nonya Chimasar. We know how the United States government categorizes certain countries as state sponsors of terror. How do you rank Nigeria given their killing of Biafrans? And should the U.S. government designate Nigeria as a state sponsor of terror?
Thank you very much for that question. First of all, I just wanted to thank Honorables Jim Moran and Elias Terasulis and the U.S. Congress for giving us the opportunity to inform the world of what has been going on in Biafra land for decades. So for the question, these are some of the reasons why the United States government should designate Nigeria as a terror organization. One, between 2015 and 2016, Amnesty International reported that Nigerian security forces killed over 1,500 IPOB protesters in cold blood. Remember, they didn't have any weapons. They were just exercising their rights as citizens. And in 2017, there was what they called Operation Python Dance, which targeted the Southeast residents who are Biafrans, with soldiers invading communities, shooting civilians, and committing extrajudicial killings, which led to about 28 young men and women in our leader, Mazinam Kano's house. Thirdly, from 2021 to 2023, Amnesty International also documented over 1,844 killings in Biafra land, including unlawful executions, torture, and enforced disappearances by security forces. And one might ask whether these killings or these killers have been apprehended and brought to justice, and the answer is no. No one has been held accountable for these killings. In fact, when locals apprehend any of the killers, there is always an order to free them. Up till today, the killings continue, and the painful thing is the fact that Biafrans are killed simply because we are Christians, simply because of the crude oil in Biafra land, and because they want to Islamize us by force, which we are resisting. So I call the global community to pay attention to what's going on in Biafra land and elsewhere. There is a genocide going on. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful. That's what we every Biafran to always carry in their heart. The fact that our people are dying every day. Now, I want my brother Emmanuel, how would you describe or Igbos within the Nigerian by the political establishment, which has traditionally been controlled? Would you say this is an important part of why the Biafran independence movement?
The hatred of Biafrans in Nigeria by the political establishment. Some of us came into this world and we see this hatred every day. We have this economic jihad that's going on. Our businesses have been born in Lagos, in the north. We are not allowed to scale when it comes to political positions as in the presidency of the country. And now we are seeking for Biafra. We want to be on our own so that we can be able to live in peace without facing this hatred every day. The Fulani Caliphate are the ones controlling Nigeria. And with this economic jihad, they have continued to display this economic jihad on the Biafrans, day in, day out, in every aspect of life. And we are tired of it. And we say this is the reason why over 80 million Biafrans, over 50 million Biafrans voted for the Biafra self-referendum, because they themselves are tired of the hatred. Every one of us can see it, even the young ones. And that is why there is maximum support for Biafra, so that we can have our own independent state and live in accordance with our own values. So that's what I would say about that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. My brother Chima John, for those amongst you who lived during the first Biafran Civil War, it's called a civil war, but we know it's a genocidal war against the Biafran people, 1967 to 1970. Please describe your experience? I know you might not know, but I know you have people who have told you stories. I see you're very much younger than 1967. So describe your experience and how you would compare the Biafran independence movement in the 1960s compared to now. And what do you wish the United States government to do regarding the issues here?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I want to thank the U.S. Congress for the opportunity that we have today to control for this hearing regarding Biafra. Some of us were not born to war, we read, but all the atrocities that happened against Biafra and against the Jews during the war, we saw that Biafra land was completely destroyed by the Nigerian state in collusion with its Western allies. And they destroyed schools, they destroyed the infrastructure. And while we were growing up, every part of Nigeria was designated as educational investment. And these are places where there were no bombs, where there was no destruction. But in Biafra land, in Igbo land in particular, Igbos were never designated as educational investment. And we know what happened with this. One of the things that happened was the total blockade of Biafra land, and which led to the death of over 3 million people and the starvation of over 1 million children. I'm sure that the world saw some of those pictures, gory pictures of Kwashako children because of the starvation. That led to people like Bruce Merrill, an American student, set himself up late one of the United Nations Bureau. People like Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, saw what happened in Biafra, swore not to set his foot inside of the church, and say, how can the world open their eyes and saw these humans of so-called fellow Christians, and never did it because of oil and theft. We saw all that. The Nigerian state, as part of the plot to put the Biafra down, and the Igbos in particular, they made sure that after the war, that every Igbo person or Biafra received only 20 pounds to start life. And the Igbos and the Biafras were the richest. That was at that time. It was designed according to one of Nigeria's laws to put Biafrans down, and the Igbos in particular. They made sure that after the war, that every Igbo person or Biafran received only 20 pounds to start life in the beginning. And the Igbos and the Biafrans were the richest in that country at that time. It was designed according to one of Nigeria's recent presidents. It was designed to make Biafrans poor over 200 years and become subservient to other ethnic groups. At the end of the day, today, Biafrans are not only successful, but they have reason to say that the only thing that will make us safe to actualize our economic and political potential and destiny is the creation of an independent state of Biafra, or the restoration of it, so that we can live in peace with our neighbors, so that we can be allies of the West and our global community so that we can harness our potential, our intellectual resources, our natural resources. We can harness it to the benefit of not only our own people, but to the world at large. That is what Biafrans seek. And we want the United States as the leaders of the free world to stand up and begin to do what is right by the Biafran people. Begin to do what is right, because that's something that they're looking for. That's something that they take, that Nigeria gives them. Those oil and gas comes from Biafra land. We can negotiate, we can reach a deal with any country, America in particular, so that we can have our independence, a place we can feel safe, and to live in freedom. Thank you very much.
Just so you know, my mother served in the Red Cross during the war. My father was only a soldier during that war. So just like himself, and like many of us here, have so many stories of what happened and why we need to be free. It's not just because of the resources, but for our children to be able to see tomorrow. Now, I want to call on my brother, our brother, Mazikelo Israel. Mazikelo Israel, please, as we are in the Capitol Hill building, speaking to the United States Congress and to everyone who cares to listen to the Biafra briefing, I would like to ask, what would you recommend, or what would be your recommendation to the United States government to hold Nigeria accountable and to assist Biafra?
Thank you very much, Honorable. First of all, let me thank our great friends, Elias Rasolas, and of course, Honorable Dr. Michael Rubin, who spoke earlier on, and then Ogenkere, who has been leading this struggle since our leaders have been incarcerated. I'm talking about Simon Ebla and Nandi Kanu. And I want to thank the U.S. Congress for allowing us this opportunity to come here. Again, they are demonstrating that they are the leader of the free world, as against other nations where they don't want to talk about this. As our Honorable Michael Rubin has said, here you are free to talk and nobody will arrest you. So we are here requesting that U.S. government to come and stop the killings that is going on in Nigeria. We are talking about the genocide that happened in 1966 to 1970. Right now, that happened mainly in the southeast. Right now, the entire Nigerian state is a kill zone. The tribals want to happen during the Civil War. And so, we are pleading with the U.S. Congress to come to us quickly, not to delay, by doing these following things: to officially recognize Biafra genocide of 1966 to 1970, which has continued up to today, as our
U.S. government to condemn immediately. That is because that will save life. Condemn immediately the abuses that is going on there, which is quite obvious. It's not hidden. You have terrorists that have been recognized, given a peace deal, while those that are speaking the truth to save the country from the killings that is going on have been incarcerated, like Mazen and Kanu and Simon Ebla. Just yesterday, they agreed on a plea deal with terrorists, a peace deal, and they are walking free. We are asking the U.S. government to invoke the Global Magnitsky Act, identify all those criminals. The Canadian government have declared the political organizations in Nigeria as terrorist organizations. We're asking the US government to go further, identify the individuals themselves, and invoke them and put heavy sanctions on them. That is what we yesterday they agreed on a plea deal with terrorists, a peace deal, and they are walking free. We are asking the US government to invoke the Global Magnitsky Act, identify all those criminals. The Canadian government have declared the political organizations in Nigeria as terrorist organizations. We're asking the US government to go further, identify the individuals themselves, and invoke them and put heavy sanctions on them. That is what we are asking. To further what the Canadian government has already done. We are asking the US government to demand with immediate effect to the release of Nnamdi Kanu, a man that has been even acquitted in some of the courts in that Federal Republic of Nigeria. Several courts have discharged him and acquitted him, and in fact requested that the government compensate him. Outside UN have already also requested that he be released immediately. Kenyan government has come out openly to say that he was extraordinarily rendition. He was kidnapped from Kenya. That he should be released, and on no basis should he be tried for anything because of the illegality that they practice on him and abuses. Yet, Nnamdi Kanu is still in prison. Even recently, he asked for him to be allowed to visit the hospital, to go for a hospital treatment, and they rejected it. They rejected that he will not go to the hospital. So we're asking the US Congress to act immediately. We need urgent help. We also ask US Congress to pressure Finland to release Simon Eber. He was doing nothing other than he was worried seeing the decimation of his people. Okay? But that's the only thing we are asking, to pressure Finland government to release Simon Eber. Finally, we ask the US Congress to recognize the referendum that was conducted. 50 million Biafrans voted. If that is not acceptable, then how to help us organize a UN acceptable referendum for Biafrans, and to show that demonstrate that Biafrans are really in need to be freed. And the freedom we're asking for Biafrans is not going to for Biafrans, because it will also free the ordinary people of that country called Nigeria from all the things that are going on, which is only going to escalate as the 2027 elections continue. These are what we are requesting. Thank you very much.
Just to add one single thing to what he said, something that is very dear to me. I really wish that the United States Congress and the United States government would help us pressure Nigeria. I would like for the genocide that took the life of over 5 million of my people to be recognized. If today we speak about the Holocaust, there is no reason why we shouldn't speak about the death of over 5 million Biafrans. Thank you very much.
We Biafran people, we come in peace to ask the United States to recognize us, and we appreciate the opportunity given to us. We ever appreciate it, and it is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. The enemy of Biafran, they try everything they can. Here, we call Nigeria, we call them Zoo. If they have succeeded, you and I will not going to be here today. And the United States of America, they recognize our cry for our freedom. They recognize that we need help. That is why they allow us to use this beautiful venue for the hearing of Biafra people. This place is being used by Congress. Whether it's one or two of Congress that is here is the United States of American Congress. And they are watching, they are following this event. So we appreciate it. Thank you all. This is just the beginning. We appreciate our leader, Philip Efiam. This is our heroes, and we appreciate everything they have done. Yes. They show us the way, and we follow the way. Yes, sir. Biafra is capital, and we'll keep pushing, and we believe the United States. Thank you all. And God
Life is a process, no matter how you go about it. Masi Okechukwu Nkere, Omalicha Nwoke, the Biafra Republic Government and Exile Finance Minister, is humbly campaigning for global Biafran financial support for the purpose of Finland Convention, Biafran Defense Forces, and redeclaration-related activities. I appreciate all Biafrans who have been supporting our liberation movement. I also urge everyone to massively support more than ever, especially in these critical times. Oh, my fellow lovely great Biafrans, let's come together and support our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, who is currently working tirelessly to hand over our freedom to us this year, 2024. Freedom is coming, yeah, yeah. Yo, 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 yo. Masi Okechukwu Nkere. Salute every Biafran, especially. Yeah, yeah. Okechukwu kama. Okechukwu kaina yo no. Okechukwu kama. Onyamana gidi bakulo wunu. Okechukwu kama. Welu didi chukwu kasebele. Okechukwu kama. Okechukwu kama. Asi Okechukwu Nkere negelunu. Okechukwu kama. Okechukwu kaina yo no. Okechukwu kama. Okechukwu kaina yo na nyasi. Okechukwu kama. There is no magic to progress and success in life. Life gives back what you give to it. It takes a man who believes in himself to create wealth. So keep working hard and never lose hope in what you believe in. Ayakata. Life is not easy. Sigh. Make it take and jejo. I want to use this special opportunity to recognize great Dim Odumegojukwu. I can't also forget General Philip Effiong. Okama Daloso. Come Chetagbanu men on the ground. Airborne. De facto government in homeland. A special recognition to every Biafran who have been supporting from day one. May Elohim continue to flourish in your different endeavors.